Hello, my name is Mathias Milford. I am a Fitness Center Supervisor here at Nihidinabo Wellness Center, and this is my outtake on mental health. I believe the biggest misconception that I come across or encounter is that mental health is a form of weakness, and there is that stigma around mental health that it's not strong, it's not strength, it's something that brings us down. And I think even as a male, it's something that isn't viewed as a priority. It's not viewed as being masculine, to be in your feels, to be in your feelings. And that's one of the biggest stigmas that I've personally encountered, and I think even from a personal sense that I've dealt with in my own life, that took me a while to come to a grasp and understanding that mental health is as important as physical, spiritual well-being when it comes to our own person and to other individuals. So really just accepting that it's a part of life and it needs to be brought to attention, it needs to be taken care of just as well as our physical health. On my mental health journey, one of the biggest things I've learned over the years is to enjoy and praise the small victories. Oftentimes I'm very critical of myself. I hold myself to a higher standard, and there was a time frame where that was taking a toll on my mental health. I was getting into a low area with weightlifting, to use as an example. I was holding myself to that higher standard of needing to achieve my bigger goal every day. And I had to take a step back. I had to change my perspective to really evaluate, okay, yes, I'm working on the bigger goal. However, the daily wins is what I need to encompass and be proud of. That, you know, day 1, day 2, day 3 are gonna make up day 400. And that was one thing that over the years I really had to readjust, refocus, and set in to enjoy those small victories, those small wins. And I think oftentimes a lot of us can be really critical on ourselves. And if we're able to really change our perspective and focus on those smaller steps, it all adds up to that bigger goal, that bigger mindset. And that's one thing that I've, over the years, especially with competition, that I've adjusted to, and it's made my mental health a lot better and a lot stronger. The biggest inspiration that I have for mental health right now in my journey is all the interactions that I get working in the Wellness Center. Getting to interact with patients, getting to interact with gym members, employees, and really anyone who is coming through the Wellness Center. Getting to hear all their perspectives, all their stories, where they're at in their journeys, whether they're on day 1, whether they're on day 100. That's one thing that's really inspiring, because you can also take some of those stories and help these patients, these members, to keep them motivated, to keep them driven into what their goals are. And then personally, I think hearing a lot of these stories, you get to see a lot of individuals are on the same path. A lot of individuals are really trying to get a grasp of their physical, some focusing on their mental, and getting to chime in there that a lot of times all of that does encompass, like the 6 dimensions of wellness, does all flow together. And as important as it is to be physical, the flip side is mental health just is as important. And I think getting to hear all of those interactions helps me to inspire others, because again, I can take a lot of different feedbacks and be a little bit of that support in that area. I believe just wanting to just be able to share some insights, share some mindset. As a Native American male, as a competitor, as an individual who not only has struggled with mental health due to my upbringing, but basically be able to share my story and share some of the things I've learned over the years with my own mental health journey, to be able to voice that and voice the importance when it comes to mental health, that again, as much as we can be physical, we can be spiritual, we can be financial, a lot of these different things, if our mental health isn't taken as important, a lot of times our daily lives, our daily thoughts aren't always positive and motivational and inspirational. So if we can really bring that mental health into the forefront, a lot of times I feel like if my mind can control the situation is a lot more positive, it's a lot more joyful, and in the end, it makes me a lot more happier. If I can control the mental aspect, everything else seems to fall into place.